You made another point, Nate, that I thought was really good. Around the equity section. So I've had sellers, a number of sellers ask me, hey, I take distributions out of the company. Can those be treated as an add back? And so that gets back to this concept of it's only an add back if it's been expensed on the P&L. So distributions and withdrawals are typically run through the balance sheet. They go through the equity section in the balance sheet. They're not reflected on the P&L. And so because they haven't reduced the net income, we can't add them back. And so, which is fine. It's perfectly good way to take money out of your company through distributions, but it doesn't count as an add back. But it also those distributions have not been removed from the earnings of your business. So you're essentially getting credit for that pre-distribution revenue already.
Yeah, and just beware that when we get into a larger size deal, the buyer is going to push back on that one almost 100% of the time, saying that somebody's doing some work and there has to be some expense associated with that human capital, that brain power that's going into the business.
Yeah, and in particular, when we deal with institutional investors and buyers, private equity firms, they've got to hire private or professional management to run these companies, and so they do have a real expense that they will layer into the business. I think it's a different conversation when we've got individuals who are buying the business to run it themselves, because then, they will essentially do that job, but they're getting the income directly, and so the add backs sometimes are treated differently based on who the buyer is.
Yep.
Because of the way that the business will be run going forward based on that specific buyer. And then that's a question for the seller when we get those offers in. It's not uncommon for us, Nate, to get multiple offers on a lot of our deals at website closers. And so, part of our job then with the sellers is helping them go through the offers, really understand what the structures are, what the implications are for various buyers, and helping them pick kind of the best offer that's going to net them the best result at the closing.
Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications about new videos and interviews. And introduce yourself in the comments. Are you a buyer or a seller?